Do not buy the Nintendo Switch 2 just for Pokemon. Well, okay, obviously if you want to buy it because it's the brand new Nintendo console, then sure, go ahead. But as a Pokemon fan and somebody who bought the Nintendo Switch 2 on release date and having it for the weekend, here are some of my thoughts. I did already make a video discussing some of my first impressions of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet because that is something that we've been following very closely in the Pokemon community and especially here on this channel. And of course, as I am a Pokemon content creator, I think that that is mostly what we want to look at the Nintendo Switch 2 for. And that is definitely the reason I bought mine on release day, so I could try it out, get some footage, and kind of hopefully let everybody else know before they purchase theirs if possible. So I don't want to say that I bought my Switch just for Scarlet and Violet, but it is the game that I played first on it. And I think that we definitely need to bring that to the discussion. Yes, this is a brand new console, it's going to last us for a few more years, there are going to be a bunch of other Nintendo games on it, and I did buy Mario Kart World a day later and have been playing that for the past few hours. But with the news of there being a big update for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet that allows it to run much better, and now that we've got footage showing just how well it runs, I think that it is something we really should address, because there definitely might be a few people who are considering the Nintendo Switch a lot more so after seeing the Scarlet and Violet footage, either because they really love the game and want it to play even better, or because they were never the biggest fan of the game because of the issues, and are hoping that the update will change their mind. And of course, you get the really weird, dumb arguments that are saying, oh, spending nearly $500 just for Pokemon to play the way it should. You know, you see those show up here and there, and that is such a dumb argument because I think very few people are actually going to do that, actually spend $450 just for Scarlet and Violet, a 3-year-old game, to play better. When it comes to a console, there is a large upfront cost because you are going to be using it years later, and there are many other games you can play on it. It's the same as any other piece of technology having a large upfront cost, one, for the technology needed to build it, and then also because most consumers don't buy one every single year. So it kind of goes out to Pokemon Nintendo haters and defenders, like, no, you definitely should not be buying a Nintendo Switch just for Pokemon, and basically nobody is. But if anybody is at least considering it, I think that it is extremely wise to wait. Of course, I have my own feelings about the update of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. I mentioned it in that video, I think I did. And of course, for the Nintendo Switch, I have some different thoughts, or just, you know, any brand new console in general. This is the first Nintendo console that I have bought on release day, so this is a brand new experience for me. I didn't buy the Nintendo Switch 1 back then because when it released, I'm not really a Zelda fan, so I wasn't going to play that. I waited until we got closer to Mario Kart 8 and Splatoon 2. But now with the Nintendo Switch 2 launching with Mario Kart World, it kind of sweetens the deal for me, but again, I also got it for different circumstances. And that is what I will also bring up. I think for your average person who works most of the day, comes home and wants to play a video game for a few hours, and has it basically really strictly as a hobby, I think it genuinely is really hard to recommend a Nintendo Switch 2. Yes, it is more powerful, yes, there will be brand new games for it, yes, I really do like mine, but I think it might have been nice if the price were just a bit lower. I was expecting $400 give or take, but sometimes that extra $50 does make the difference. And then of course the video games themselves costing more, yeah, I'm not a fan of that. I was assuming $70 would be the trend and would be sort of fine with that, but the fact that Nintendo decided Mario Kart World would be an extra $10 on top of that for $80, yeah, it's hard to recommend. Yeah, Mario Kart is a fun game, and I know for sure that I'm going to get so much enjoyment out of it, I'm going to play it for so many hours, but again, it is hard to recommend to the average person. And I don't want to say that, ooh, I'm not an average person, but yes, I obviously do have a YouTube channel, and I will be using this console basically daily in order to create content for that YouTube channel, or stream, or whatever have you. And then on top of that, in my personal case, I did save up a good amount of money, and I had some gift cards lying around that I used to basically cut the price of it in half, and I know that that is definitely not going to be the case for everybody. So far, I personally have not had issues with the console itself, but I don't doubt there are some cases here and there. So it is a really tricky situation. Unless you are like a die-hard Nintendo fan and a die-hard Mario Kart fan, then sure, go ahead and if you have the money. But for anybody else, I think it would definitely be worth the wait, especially for Pokemon fans. Pokemon Legends EA is thankfully going to release for both consoles, so you'll have your choice by then. And honestly, typically Pokemon does keep staying on the older console for a long time. I mean, remember we got like Black 2 and White 2 by the time the 3DS was already out? And never forget Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon releasing on the 3DS the same year as the Nintendo Switch. So by the time we get Generation 10 next year for the 30th anniversary, then it will probably be only on Nintendo Switch 2. So having an entire year between now and then is a pretty good buffer. While Pokemon makes some weird decisions, I think that we should at least give them credit for that, for, you know, not jumping immediately onto the brand new console and forcing everybody to move over ASAP. Then again, maybe it just comes down to some stubbornness on their part. But personally, what have I been thinking about the Nintendo Switch 2? Yeah, honestly, it's really cool. I love the heft of it. It really does feel a little more like a premium console. Yeah, it is bigger, that's cool. Though personally, I mostly play my Switch docked only. And I will say that that is an issue, though I'm not a fan of the dock. There is a little more space between the inside of it and the screen, and I know that is to avoid scratches. But in practice, it feels a little too unstable and wobbly for me to feel comfortable. Like whenever I load in a new cartridge while it's still docked, I almost feel like I'm gonna break it if I wiggle it too much. The Joy-Cons themselves are really nice, though I always prefer a Pro controller. I did not buy a brand new Pro controller, I'm still on the old one, but the new Joy-Cons are okay. Genuinely though, I am a huge fan of the mouse mode. There aren't really many video games that use it, but just for navigating menus like in the main menu for the Switch or the eShop or the photo mode or the Switch Online, it is just absolutely beautiful. And I guess, you know, considering the fact that there isn't really much lag anymore, but because I keep my Switch at a desk a good amount of times, just having the actual Joy-Con here and using it as a mouse feels so good. It is kind of small and it feels very light. I'm being really delicate with it, and I honestly don't think that this will be all that great for like first-person shooters if we eventually get those that use mouse controls. I would definitely want something a bit bigger for actually playing games. And I know it is such a small thing just moving around menus, but personally, like, it makes all the difference to me. So I guess really when it comes down to it, would I recommend the Switch? Again, you know, if you are like a really big fan, and again, if you're a YouTuber who is not at the point where they're going to get one for free and have to buy it for themselves like I do, then yeah, go ahead. And if you do have that disposable income and are going to enjoy Mario Kart World, while Scarlet and Violet update being the added bonus, as well as having the knowledge that Legend ZA will release on the Switch 2 with its own version, then it is a decent buy, though I guess I would still recommend waiting at least a month maybe just to see how things shake out when it comes to like making sure the console functions right off the shelf. But I guess let me know what you think in the comments below. It has been really interesting, and like I said, I've been having so much fun just playing just in general, not only Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, but Mario Kart World as well, and also joining in with some of my friends and just seeing how a lot of them are also kind of going through a revival of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. It is such a weird thing that it took a brand new console generation for me to really get reinvigorated with this game. Yeah, I enjoyed them when they came out, and you know, maybe I'm talking too much about it. That was what the last video was about, but high prices aside, it just feels good to be a Nintendo fan right now. So let me know what you think in the comments below about the Nintendo Switch 2. Have you gotten one yet? Are you waiting? How long are you waiting? And why is that the case? I think it would be really genuinely helpful for a lot of people to discuss that and determine what time is the right time. And I also hope you're looking forward to even more content, because I kind of want to just play a lot more Scarlet and Violet right now. Anyway, I should be off because oh boy, I've got a lot of gaming to do. Thank you to every channel member for your support, including the Great Gators, Shash, Cosmo Zero, Cloud8 Does Stuff, R. Legier Design, Justin Dows, Joe C, 02, Alex with Shiny Hunts, Tyler Hopper, Lockadox, Koi 13, Cemetery Hill, Cheez-It 62, Gator Kid 509, TF, Mathaclog 947, Taijirai, Justin R, Phantom, and Quago. If you would like to support, see your name here, get access to emotes for comments, live streams, sometimes early videos, and our monthly members podcast, you can become a channel member today. You can also follow me on Twitter and Blue Sky as well for more memes. Anyway, this is GatorX, and I'll catch you all later.
An unprecedented transcontinental race begins on Nintendo Switch 2. Mario Kart World.